Welcome back to another edition of This Week in Israel, where we discuss all the hot topics happening in Israel that you should know and you should care about. This week, we unfortunately started off on a more heartbreaking note, as Inspector Chen Amir was killed as he was preventing a terrorist attack in Tel Aviv. He sacrificed his life, which allowed his partner to then subdue the terrorist. He is survived by his wife and three daughters. And earlier this week, we saw the love of Israel, as we're so used to those sacrificing their lives for it. But thousands of strangers came to his funeral to pay respects, and he has been hailed as a hero throughout the country. The attacker was a member of Palestinian Islamic Jihad, which operates out of Gaza and also certain areas in Judea and Samaria, what the world calls the West Bank. The IDF has been working around the clock, and other Israeli security forces to root out other terror cells, in which they were successful multiple times this week in preventing more terror attacks and neutralizing terrorists. So that's what you're seeing right here. And what in happier news, in more progressive news, Israel's border police will be establishing a ultra-Orthodox Haredi unit called Nachshon. It is exclusively Haredi that is tasked with protecting flashpoints in Judea and Samaria, such as Bethlehem and Rachel's Tomb, Kever Rachel, which so many of us have been to, and Jerusalem as well. We've seen great success with the ultra-Orthodox unit Nachal Haredi in the army, and hopefully this will allow more to contribute in another way in serving, and also respect everybody's religious customs as well. In a rare expression of outrage in the Gaza Strip, residents took to the streets to protest the Hamas terrorist organization, as they continue to fund terror activities, but not invest in the livelihoods of their citizens and their well-being, which unfortunately has become the main role of Hamas security forces, is quashing these protests. But we wish a much better life for all those involved in Gaza, and hopefully they will have new leadership soon that values their well-being. On a different border, on the northern border with Lebanon, Defense Minister Yoav Gallant went up to assess the situation, as the Hezbollah terrorist organization and also the leadership of Lebanon, which is also an Iranian-funded terror group, has been increasing its activity on the northern border. So the defense minister completed an assessment of the region and also put in new plans into effect, and issued a very stark warning to the head of Hezbollah, Nasrallah, and he said, should Hezbollah take any actions against Israel, he says, quote, will return Lebanon to the Stone Age. So certainly some tense times up on the northern border, but we have tremendous faith in our security forces to maintain the safety and keep enemies at bay, which they are tremendously successful in doing, thank God. And lastly, on a positive note, happening just today on Thursday, Israel rescued 174 Israeli and Ethiopians eligible to immigrate from the city of Gondar, as there is fighting that has broken out in Ethiopia. So Israel, which is committed to helping Jews and protecting Jews all over the world, has done many airlifts throughout its history, and this is just another one in which we get to bring Jews of all backgrounds and Israelis as well back home to safety. God willing, it should be a peaceful week in Israel, and may we only have good news to share next week. Shabbat Shalom.